Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today I'm going to be sharing the entire NARS spring collection for 2018. This spring collection has 4 lip products, 2 cheek products, and 2 eye products. This collection will be available from the NARS website and NARS boutiques first. It'll be launching there on January 18th, and then you'll be able to find it in all the department and specialty stores, Sephora, Nordstrom, all those kind of places on February 1st. Every once in a while, these kind of items will kind of sneaky launch first in a department store, or they'll have a couple of the items available. So I will snoop around online, and if I can find any of these things already available, I will link them for you. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait until January 18th to get all of this stuff from NARS. I am wearing all the products on my face today, so as we go along, I'll show you swatches. I'll do a demo tutorial at the end of the video. Make sure you stick around for that. This is such an atypical makeup look for me. This like metallic silver, more cool toned, smoky kind of eye. This is so not what I usually do, and I freaking love it. And wait until you see the little demo that I do. This was the easiest smoky eye ever. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video to see that. First, let's talk about these lip products. These are the lip covers. This is not a new formula, it's a reboot of something that NARS released back in summer of 2016, I believe. So they're not new, but they're also not part of the permanent line. These retail for $28 US. There are 4 shades, and these are all going to be limited edition for spring. These have the typical NARS matte black packaging. They are nice and slim and square, and they have a small, very stiff, pointed doe foot applicator. I did already post swatches of these on Instagram. Instagram is usually where I show the new releases first before I have time to make a video. So I posted this swatch picture. I'll link to it down below in the description box. Make sure you follow me on Instagram to see everything first before the video goes up. And if you want to save this post, you can just hit that little bookmark at the bottom, and that way you can refer back to see which shades you liked, which ones you need to add to your cart. I am going to show you lip swatches in this video. Don't worry, we'll get to that in just a second. As soon as I showed these on Instagram, I got tons of questions, people asking if this is like the Velvet Lip Glide formula. The answer is no. This is not like the Velvet Lip Glides. This is not like the Power Mattes. This is somewhere in between. If I had to compare it to something, I would say it's most like the original melted lipsticks from Too Faced. These are a liquefied lipstick. They do not dry down. They are not transfer proof. I'd say they have a creamy satin finish. They are very, very comfortable, and even though they're not transfer proof, I think that they're surprisingly long wearing. I was wearing a different shade the other night when I ate dinner. Of course, I could see it transferring off onto my water glass, and when I would wipe my mouth, I would see it show up on my napkin. But when I looked at my makeup at the end of dinner, there was still some of that color left on my lips, and it didn't look weird. It hadn't smeared all over my face. It wore off really gracefully, and my lips still looked good. And you can touch this up, so you can just apply more right on top. It doesn't get crumbly because it doesn't dry matte. So this is definitely a different formula from the lip glides. I think the Velvet Lip Glides are glossier, and I do find those transfer more easily than these lip covers. 2 of these shades have a frosty finish, and 2 are just straight up cream finish lipsticks. This first shade is called Embrace Moi. It's a pale, frosty peach color. The other frosty finish shade is the one that I'm wearing throughout this video. This one's called Summer Fire. It's one of my favorites. It's a really beautiful medium rosy pink, perfect for spring. I love this shade. Then for the 2 without any frost finish, the first is this peachy nude. This one's called Under Arrest. I thought that this one was going to be my favorite, but it has just a little bit too much of a yellow undertone for me. Still a gorgeous shade. I think a lot of people are going to love this one. And lastly is the red from the collection. This one's called Hellgate. I don't think I have any red like this in my collection. I think this is such a gorgeous color. Definitely a springtime red. It's a brick red, but it still manages to be vibrant and bright. Next, let's talk about the two velvet eyeshadow sticks from this collection. These are both very metallic silver shades. One is a lighter silver. This one is called Galice. And then there's a dark shimmery pewter, and this one's called Friul. In the info that NARS sent along with these products, it says that the deeper shade is limited edition, and this lighter silver shade called Galice is not listed as limited edition. I don't know if this is going to become part of the permanent line or if that was just kind of an editing error in their PR materials. But I looked on Sephora and on the NARS website and I could not find this shade for sale yet. So maybe it's just an editing error and this is limited edition too. Everything else in the collection is limited edition, and maybe this is becoming part of the permanent line. These velvet eyeshadow sticks are not new to the NARS collection. It's just the shades that are new, and these are super easy to use. They just have a twist up eyeshadow stick and they do twist back down. Just in case you're curious, some products, once you twist it up, it's like, hope you're happy with what you dispensed because they don't go back down. These are very easy to use. So if you've never watched my channel before, these are not my kind of shades at all. When I saw these, I was like, whatever. This darker pewter shade is really pretty. It has like a almost bluish iridescence to it, but these just aren't the kind of shades I typically go for. I have to say I was dead wrong about these. I love my eyeshadow look today. I typically never wear silver. I don't remember the last time I wore really a silver eyeshadow, and I just love the way this turned out. I'm so impressed and happy with these. If you're like me and you're all about warm tones and silver, cool tones, smoky eyes, those just aren't in your vocabulary, give these a try because I was really pleasantly surprised. I really enjoy this entire collection, but these were unexpected and I like them. The last two products in this spring collection are cheek products. One is a new shade of the liquid blush, which I am so thrilled about. I love the NARS liquid blushes. I did a whole video when they first released, so you can see me rave about them in that video. I'll link that one down in the description box. These also made it into my best in beauty of 2017. I do think that the liquid blushes from NARS are some of the best products that released last year, and probably some of the best products in my entire collection, which is a ridiculous thing to say, but these things are so freaking good. This is in the shade Hot Tin Roof. This shade is going to be limited edition for the spring collection and it will retail for $30 US. This is a rusty reddish blush. I think that this would look good on all skin tones. I really think that because this is so pigmented, this would look beautiful on very deep skin, but I'm wearing it today and I'm pretty darn fair. And I used a very light hand with it, but I think it looks great. It's a very in from the cold flush look. You just need the teeniest, tiniest bit of these. They are so pigmented. They do have a little pump. I'm gonna put the tiniest bit. Like, do you see that dot? That's not even a pump. That's like what was hanging on to the pump. And look at how pigmented this is. That was from like the tiniest speck. That's really all you need. And I just think that it's so pretty. This stuff is super buildable. I put it on today after powdering. Like, I had my full face, I had already powdered my full face, already put Fix Plus over my full face, and this went right on top, didn't disturb anything. It's just, there you can see the color a little bit better. I just added another teeny tiny little drop, and I mean, just, it's so pretty. It's even prettier in person. I'm telling you, this shade is gorgeous. I will show this in my little tutorial demo at the end of this video, but if you have questions about this liquid blush, go and check out my other video that's dedicated just to these NARS liquid blushes. You can see how I apply them, you can see the other shades. Just know this is insanely good. The last thing we're going to talk about is this highlighting blush. This also retails for $30 US and it is a light shimmering pink. This one's called Free Soul. This stuff is super shimmery. Look at that. I'll show you a little swatch here. Again, we're seeing the typical NARS packaging, just this matte black compact. It does have a little mirror in there. I'm wearing this shade on my cheeks today. What I did was I applied the liquid blush first, and then I just brushed this all over where I normally highlight and all over the apples of my cheeks as well. And I think it looks very shimmery and very bright, but it's not so over the top that it looks like, you know, that metallic, like wet stripe of highlight. This has a really beautiful, very fresh sheen to it. This is such a perfect spring product. This can be built up to be very intense, like you saw from the swatch, but the way I used it just with a fluffy brush kind of all over, swept all over my cheek, it looks a lot more subtle, so I do think this is a very versatile product. Because it is a very pale pink, I don't think it will be as universally flattering as the liquid blush shade, but I have to say I think this would make an insanely good like inner corner highlight and eyeshadow shade as well. So just because it says highlighting blush doesn't mean you can't use it other ways. Let's jump into the demos now, that way you can see all these products in action, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end.
Let's put some of this stuff on my face. Starting off with the liquid blush, and I just take a teeny tiny bit of that and I'm applying it a little bit at a time with my e.l.f. small stipple brush. And I did go back over and do 2 layers to build that up a little bit. And I just love the flush this gives me. It's so pretty. Next, I'm using Free Soul. This is the highlighting blush. And I put that all over my cheeks, so on the tops of my cheekbones and over my blush as well. Then to start my eyes, I'm using the shade Dover. This is from the Loaded palette, just as a transition shade. My eyes are already primed, by the way. Now I'm taking the Velvet eyeshadow stick in the shade Galice, and I'm just putting that all over the inner half of my eye, and then blending it out a little bit with my fingertip. And I did go over this twice to get some more intensity, since I'm not going to put another eyeshadow on top of this shade. Then on the outer half of my lid, I'm going to use the shade Friul, and I'm using the same method. I'm just smudging a little bit of the shadow onto my lid and then patting it out with my finger. Then I went back over, added a little bit more of the Velvet eyeshadow stick, and then just blended it out with my little finger all over again. I think this looked really nice on its own, but I did want to see how this performed as an eyeshadow base, so with another shade on top of it. I used the shade Splendor on a flat eyeshadow brush, and I just packed that over the outer half of my eyelid. Really quick and easy. Then I went back to Dover. I put a little bit of that along my lower lash line, and I also swept some of that back through the crease just to blend everything together. Super quick and easy. Of course, I needed a little inner corner highlight, so I used the shade Newbury Street. This is a super poppin' inner corner highlight, just like I like it. Then I just curled my lashes and added a little bit of my favorite L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara, and that's my finished look.
I really have liked everything that I've tried so far. I am shocked by how much I love this cool toned eye with these very flushed reddish cheeks. It's hard for me to choose favorites because there are only 8 pieces in the collection, and I honestly ended up really liking everything so far that I've tried. I will say that the shade I've been wearing on my lips throughout this video, Summer Fire, is my favorite of the lip products. This whole collection is full of surprises because from looking at a picture, I never would have picked this, and first glance of the eyeshadow sticks, I never would have picked those. I am a really big fan of both of the cheek products, but I think if you had to choose one, I would go with the liquid blush. I love this formula. It's such a standout. This shade is gonna look good on everybody. If you haven't tried these, just go into a store, make sure you shake it and just try it. This formula is incredible. There's nothing like it. I can't say enough good things. I really love this. That's it for today's video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this collection. What are you looking forward to for spring? Are you gonna pick any of these items up? As always, I love to hear what you guys think too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Can you like straighten your camera since you've already filmed half this video and it's obviously crooked AF? This is what my hair looks like. We could just be like, oh, it's just like a messy hair day. No, this is just what my hair looks like at all times. What can I learn? These products are so good. Okay, calm down. How does anyone take me seriously? Because I don't take myself seriously at all. Never could, never would. Didn't have enough coffee today. What are you even talking about? No one knows. No one's ever known. I mean, seriously, my gray hairs are sticking out everywhere. Guess what? I'm 32. I got gray hair. It's life. Okay, just shut up and talk about makeup. Okay. Kinda love it. What? Wearing everything. I can't stop staring at it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. These are I'm sure 100 people will be like, you're pronouncing it wrong. Oh my gosh, you're the worst person ever because you don't speak another language. Like, I do speak another language. It's just not French. Relax. They canceled school today and it's like the nicest day we've had in weeks. So now all the neighborhood children are just outside running amok, which I'm sure is great for them, but it is not great for filming purposes. But I'm happy for them. I remember that joy, but just like 3 notches down. Now here comes the trash truck. At least my silver eyeshadow looks so good though. So good. So freaking pretty. I want to eat it. It's like candy. Highlighting blush, not highlighting brush. You're really good at making YouTube videos.